This is a video response I got on the comments about the Eureka Zeus tent and a possible engineering default and what I would do to solve the problem. Actually, I found a couple of faults with the tent I'm going to go over with, but first I'm going to put out my disclaimer. This is in my opinion. I don't know everything there is to know about tents, and I pretty much don't claim to know that, even though my girlfriend says I do. But anyway, so we're going to go over this a little bit in this segment, and hopefully this answers the questions you have. The question was about the venting of the tent. As you can see, we got a very small vent here at the front of the vestibule. Come around to the side there, and we've got a vent right there, and it's supposed to vent out the back of the tent. Now, what the engineers were thinking on this, and it's kind of what I thought, is it's supposed to suck the cool air in from the front of the vent, and the hot air would come out of the back of the vent. Now, I've used this tent in probably 70-degree weather, and it got a little warm on the inside. So to solve the problem is what I did, is I simply just opened up the vestibule, and let the air flow through, which I didn't have a problem with that at all. It kept me, fairly cool during the night. Now, I used it just the other day, and I'm going to say the temperature got down to 40 degrees, and there was a little condensation built up at the top of the tent, which means it's still not venting 100%. But with the vestibule open and no rain, you should be just fine. Now, another thing I noticed in the tent is the screens are really woven real tight, and they don't let a lot of air flow through like you think they would. But they do provide, it's like a little turbo booster down here to let more air come through as you're sleeping. Now, I slept with my head towards the front of the vestibule, let the cool air come in, and the warm air exit through the back here, as you can see that vent. And I'm telling you, it's about, I want to say about 60 degrees out here, and it's nice and warm in the tent. Okay, now the second flaw I found, which is not a real big deal, and you can solve this problem with some seam sealer, is if you notice right here, you see I already kind of sealed that, is where the floor meets the side fabric of the tent. And then we'll run outside here and I'll show you that. As you can see right here, the floor of the tent and the sidewalls are about ground level. Now, they've double stitched this and put the factory seam seal on there, but the only thing I was concerned about is in a heavy downpour, if water was pulling up, if it would leak into the tent. Now, some of the other tents I have, the floor comes up about 2 inches before it meets to the sidewall of the tent. I haven't had any problem with those. Let's do a real quick recap. First, on the vent situation, what I would do is just simply point the front of the tent into the wind, let the wind blow through, leave the vestibule open unless it's raining. That would help with the airflow. On the second thing is, where the floor of the tent meets the sidewall, just seam seal it, and if it's going to be a real heavy rain, go ahead and trench your tent. I really hope this information helped you out. I appreciate your comment and your question. So once again, thanks for watching. Oh, and a quick personal note here. When you're folding your tent up, make sure if you're going to store it for the winter, get all the leaves off there, because if not, they'll biodegrade and make little brown spots in your tent. Oh, and another thing, if it has been wet out and you've got a lot of moisture in there, hang it up in your garage for about a day. Get the moisture to evaporate. That took about, what, 3 minutes to tear down or less? In my opinion, still a great tent. And this has been some bonus footage.